Got it? Alright, cool. Alright guys, so I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while now. In this video I'm just going to talk about speedlights, what we can do with them, and specifically cheap speedlights. These are Yongnuo speedlights, about $100 on Amazon. They're way cheaper than the Canon ones. So first off, we're gonna start with, just to get right into it, we're gonna start with a one speedlight mounted on top of the camera without a diffuser, with a diffuser, and with the bounce. And then my subject and model for today is my girlfriend Luna, and I'll leave her handle in the description for you guys to follow her on Instagram if you guys want. We came to this location because I knew there used to be a yellow wall here. That's why she's wearing a yellow jacket, but they painted this wall brown. So we're just gonna be shooting on the reflective surface over here. And so let me walk you guys through the manual settings real quick. So these speedlights have the ability to do TTL. TTL stands for through the lens, which means that it automatically reads your focal length, and it also reads how far your focusing point is from the lens, so it knows how much power to output through the flash. Now, I don't usually shoot auto with flashes. I shoot all manual, and there's three things that you need to focus on. So one is the power of the light, two is the focal length, and three is how far you are from the subject. So this lens is a 24-70 2.8. So I'm gonna manually adjust the settings for it to go to 24 millimeters. And what that does is that it spreads the light wider. If you were to change the focal length on the flash, all it's gonna do is it's gonna focus it to a smaller area. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. So we're gonna shoot this right now. All right, so first I'm gonna do direct flash without a diffuser, just pointed straight to her. So I just shot the flash set to 24 millimeters, so I'm just gonna close it up and put it to the highest level, which is 200 millimeters. And I'll show you guys what we get with that. It's more of like a tunnel view light. So it's gonna be kind of almost like a spotlight on her. So shooting at 200 millimeters is actually a really cool effect if you want to get that spotlight look. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna pull up the bounce, and what this is gonna do, it's gonna bounce off the white paper here, this white little bounce, and it's gonna create almost like a soft cloud. I hope you guys don't hear that. Just so you guys know, I'm shooting at the weakest power that I can. This allows me to stay wide open with my lens. Now what I'm gonna show you guys is a pretty cool trick. It's really just kind of really slowing down the shutter speed, so I get kind of like a motion effect with the flash. And for this, we're gonna shoot this way because there's some security lights over here, and it might really show up in the picture in a cool way. My shutter speed right now is at 1/4 of a second, and as I'm shooting, I'm just moving it while the shutter's open. It's just absorbing all that light. Dope, that one was sick. We had to move because someone wanted to be and call parking enforcement of all people to make us move out of the alley.
That's probably all the action they've had on there.
So now we're on a sidewalk, which I don't think we'll get in trouble for because we're on the sidewalk, and there's a brick wall right here. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna be shooting with the diffuser now. So there's two ways that you can shoot with the diffuser. You can shoot it directly at the model, or you can point it up and it'll kind of disperse the light evenly. So what a diffuser basically is that light gets pointed at it, it bounces within the diffuser, and it just kind of becomes like an orb, and that orb really creates some softer light. So let me show you guys what we get with that. Now I'm gonna bring out another speed light, and I'm gonna show you guys how I set up multiple speed lights. So speed lights typically come with this little piece right here. I don't know what it's called, but it is kind of like a stand for your speed lights. So you would take your speed light, attach it at the bottom, and now you can pretty much place it on any flat surface and it works. What you can also do is screw a plate on here and put it on the tripod, or sometimes it can just kind of screw onto the top of light stands. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna set the second speed light to slave for it to go off every time this one goes off. I'm just gonna put this one down over here, point it up towards the brick wall, while this one is pointed at Luna, and I'll show you guys the kind of haloing effect that we get. So as I mentioned earlier, you can screw these kind of stands onto a tripod. So I'm gonna put the plate on this one. All right, so now this thing is on a tripod, and what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put on a remote. This is a wireless remote. It's also by Yongnuo. It came with this kit. So I'm gonna throw this on my camera, sync it to this thing. Actually, I think I can sync it right now. So there you go, it's synced. All I have to do is press the flash button on this thing, and it goes off. So I'm gonna put it on my camera, set this thing off my camera, kind of like a studio setup, except outside with cheaper lights. So this is a flash disc, and if you guys watch F-Stoppers on YouTube, they make one similar like this, but this one doesn't have their logo on it, and I was able to get it for about $10 cheaper. So sorry, F-Stoppers. This is the softbox. You pretty much just throw in your speed light in here. It has silver on one side and translucent white on the other, so it just creates, it's kind of like carrying around a portable softbox. It also has a gray card behind it. So this gray card, you can throw it into one of your scenes or one of your photos, and then in post, you can adjust your white balance. So super handy tool. I keep it in my pocket usually when I'm shooting flash stuff. So this area is kind of sketchy, and so we're gonna move to another sketchy area and just take some quick shots with the hot shoe extension and the flash disc. So let's do that. All right, so now I have my hot shoe extension. What a hot shoe extension is, essentially, is exactly what it sounds like. It's an extension for your hot shoe. So one part connects to your hot shoe, the other part connects to whatever you want to connect it to. So this is kind of like a two-hand setup, is what I usually use at events if I wanted softer light. The flash disc, like I said, is basically like a softbox, and I'll just hold it to wherever I want to really position it to be able to get a nice light with. So we got some greenery behind us. We're gonna take some photos in front of this. So after I get a couple shots with this flash disc, I have another speed light with the gel on it. So this has a red gel on it. It comes with the whole pack, but this is just from the last time that I used it. So I'm gonna set this thing up as a catch light behind Luna, and it's gonna kind of add like a red glow on one side of her. You guys will see what that looks like. Now I'm gonna show you guys my favorite one. So the last accessory, and I've talked about this one before, is this thing. This is a CB Mini RC bracket, and it's by a company called Custom Brackets. You can order it online. I haven't found it on Amazon. I think I had to order it off of their website. And what this does is that you can connect it to the bottom of your camera and then add the hot shoe extension on the arm. And what that's gonna do is gonna put your speed light right next to your lens. And what that does is that it eliminates a lot of the shadow. Sometimes when you have the speed light mounted on top of your camera, you get a longer shadow under the chin. And when you wanna shoot portraits with your speed light on top of your camera, the light kind of flashes from the side, so you get a longer shadow off to the side, or off to the right or left, from whichever way you turn the camera, really. So I'm gonna attach this to the bottom of my camera. So this is what the bracket looks like when it's mounted with the hot shoe extension, because you need it. Without it, your speed light won't go off. You can use the remote, but if you use the remote, then you're kind of wasting batteries, because this takes 4 AA batteries and the remote takes 2, and they both kind of die pretty quickly. So I'm gonna mount the speed light right here besides my lens. And usually when I'm working with this, I usually wrap the hot shoe extension around the lens, just so the wire isn't flimsying around. I love this setup. I don't know, I feel like a badass walking around with this setup, kind of more like a paparazzi if anything. I'm gonna turn this on, we're gonna get a couple quick shots, and that'll be it. And by the way, this bracket can be fitted to any camera, just with a couple adjustments. Alright guys, so that's it. That's all the ways that I use the speed lights. If you know of a way to use a speed light that I didn't cover today, leave it in the comments and I promise to test it out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, comment. It'll help this video get so many more views, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.